Hello, my name is Brandon Dryman. I am a captain with the Indianapolis, Indiana Fire Department, where I serve as the coordinator of firefighter wellness and support. I'm also a peer support master instructor for the International Association of Firefighters, and I have also spent a fair amount of time working in EMS with 14 years as a EMT and paramedic for ambulance services around the state of Indiana as well as the state of Illinois. And I will be presenting at EMS Today 2020 on the topic of psychological health for EMS providers. This is an all audiences presentation. You don't have to have any prior experience in behavioral health to come and participate in the discussion, although I think there will be plenty of information that's valuable, not just to somebody who has no behavioral health experience, but also to those people who have maybe worked in EMS peer support or critical incident stress management, or have just had a general interest in EMS behavioral health for some time. I think there's going to be plenty for everyone so that we can all walk away with better knowledge of this subject matter. We're going to get into a few different areas. We're going to talk about some awareness level things where we talk about topics like alcohol use disorder, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and what we need to be aware of. I want you to walk out of this discussion with concrete, take-home, usable points for each of the behavioral health disorders we're going to discuss. I don't really want this to be a clinical discussion full of signs and symptoms. We're all medical professionals. We can learn and look those things up ourselves. But what I want to do is provide, hey, what do I really need to know? What can I walk out of here today and begin to employ to help somebody who has PTSD or depression or alcohol use disorder, things like that. The next area we're going to discuss is suicide. We hear a lot about firefighter suicide. We hear a lot about law enforcement suicide, but we just don't hear that much about EMS suicide. And it's not as if it's not happening. We know it is. So we're going to talk about things to be aware of with EMS provider suicide. What to do if you think a fellow provider is suicidal. Sometimes we're afraid to ask about suicide because we know on the street kind of how that all works. It's not always a pretty situation. So maybe we avoid asking coworkers about suicide out of fear of what if they say yes, what am I going to do? I know how this goes down. We're going to talk about it. I'll give you some good options. It's not as intimidating as maybe we think it is. But I'll provide you some information on what to do, who you can contact, and how we can get people help, how we can keep people safe, and how we get them to definitive care. So we'll go through all of that. And then finally, we're going to round out the discussion by discussing self-care. 6 things we can be doing to improve our self-care. We take care of the world, but we don't take care of ourselves. That's been a long-standing problem in EMS. So again, 6 things that you can walk out of the presentation and start using that day. Maybe you can pick and choose, find one thing that really works for you, however it works out. But it's a discussion we need to have. It's something that we haven't had much talk about. Again, we try and sweep this stuff under the rug like it doesn't affect us, but we know that prevention is very important, and we prevent a lot of behavioral health problems from arising through good self-care. So that's going to be the goal of that section, is to give you those 6 points that you can walk out of and begin to utilize that day. This is a new class for EMS Today, so I hope you'll come out, join me, be part of the discussion. Everyone who attends has something to offer, so please don't be shy about it. Come, observe, come, participate, but please just be there. I'd love to have you in the audience, and I look forward to talking to you at EMS Today 2020. Thank you very much.